What up? Welcome to Three Count Commentaries, a very special WrestleMania prediction show with my man Big Sturts. What up, baby?
What's happening? We in
All
this.
right, so so we we go back like tidy whiteys, man. He been on the channel a couple of times already, but it ain't been on the channel in a while though. So WrestleMania is very special. So we decided we're gonna throw this one. We're gonna do the predictions and the post show next Thursday. So we're gonna do predictions and everything. We'll try to give everybody a minute or two to come into the chat, and then we're gonna start doing the predictions and everything. Then we're gonna probably shoot the shit a little bit after that, because it's probably gonna get demonetized. It's not like I make a lot of money off this thing anyway. Like, I don't make nothing off this joint. I make nothing off YouTube for real. So I don't know. It's just cool to be like my channel is monetized. Like it don't mean shit. Like a grand total of like $50 that they haven't even paid me. Okay. All right. So it's it's 2 nights. They finally set up the WrestleMania joint in terms of what match is going to be on what night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just not looking at it. So I'm just not looking at what match is going to be on what night because I try not to go into this thing with too much preparation. I think it's more fun the more chaotic it is. This guy is my homeboy. We go back far. We go back like 25 years or something like that. Maybe even longer than that, like 30 years maybe.
Talk that shit.
Almost 30 years, yeah. So he gonna do the WrestleMania pre-show and the post-show with me. He been on the channel a couple of times. I think he was on the channel a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's been a while since he's been on the channel. You know, I think it's the first time you ever been on the video. You've been on the live stream. You ain't never been on the live stream before. Like you was in the you was on a pre-recorded video before. So it's shit, my knees. I got old man knees. I need to get like a big comfortable chair. But we're gonna give everybody a minute. We get like a couple more people in. We're gonna start running through our WrestleMania predictions, and we're gonna chop it up about some other things. But how's it looking on your end? Like you got it hooked up to your Facebook or whatever?
Yeah, I'm sending it to like my Facebook and my Instagram. Like while you talking and stuff like that, I'm gonna do it like every now and then, like as we speaking and stuff like that. Like I already sent it to my people and stuff like that. They probably don't know what's going on. So
All right.
So impromptu. That's why I'm excited. I'm excited. I like the pressure. Let's go. Like I went a lot of stuff that you were talking about. Oh, I'm like, all right, bet, let's get it. Cause I got my little, ain't really notes, but I'm ready. Hey, you
all I got is a Gatorade, man, because I was getting kind of dehydrated earlier.
Oh shit, I got some tequila over here, so it's about to get wrapped.
Wet.
Man, no.
It's about to be wet. Yes. All right, so we're about to shoot the shit a little bit. All right, let's start with night one, WrestleMania night one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 matches on night one. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Night one consists of Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. You can drop a bomb during that one. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Looking forward to that. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Becky, Trish, and Lita versus Damage Control. The Usos, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. John Cena and Austin Theory, which I guess is going to be the opener of WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I think that joint is going to be it's going to open the show apparently. Sunday we got Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya, and Shotzi. The women's showcase: Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Jesus. Brock Lesnar and Omos. Edge and Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell. Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title. And Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the WWE title. This is actually WrestleMania, the Sunday joint. So WrestleMania is actually Sunday. The Saturday joint is kind of like a pre-show, basically.
Right.
I like both cards though. I like both cards, but all right. Let's get into that. Do you be watching NXT?
No, I ain't really been catching up on it, man. I've been following like bits and pieces of it, but I ain't really been on it like ever since they changed it to the on John Cena colors and stuff like that. I was like, and they try to switch it back to the black and yellow. I'm like, y'all kind of losing me, but y'all got me, but y'all losing me.
All right, they got a little show on Saturday. It's Saturday afternoon. I think it's like 1 o'clock or something like that. Saturday afternoon,
Real?
and then they show gonna be about 2 hours, 3 hours
Oh,
before
okay.
WrestleMania. So it's like a big block. They're gonna run I already did the NXT stand and deliver predictions. I figured you didn't watch NXT. I figured you didn't watch NXT.
I would.
Um,
They had a spark when they started, but now they're just garbage.
yeah, I still like NXT, man. It's a fun product. It's a lot of young people. They coming in fucking up in a major way. Sometimes they fucking up majorly, and it's funny because you get to see where they come from. Because I don't watch all of them fuck up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched The Rock have like terrible fucked up matches and stuff like that, and then as you know, he had WrestleMania pulling his shit off perfectly.
Right,
It's
right.
amazing watching young folks grow. But let's get into WrestleMania night one, the Saturday show. Uh, all right, let's start with I guess the match that's supposed to open the show: John Cena and Austin Theory. Who you got?
Um, I think Austin Theory's got my man, dog. Like for if you really look at what Austin Theory been doing for the past like maybe like year now, like it been like what I mean, just out of nowhere. Like how does he keep popping up? Like what is it about him to keep on doing stuff? Even though he can like I think last year he got F5'd off the top of the cake on top of this was that the elimination.
Chamber.
Yeah, he won the money in the bank. He kept on trying to cash it in, the money in the bank suitcase, and got dented so in and looking like a wrinkled booty. Like it's so much he done. Like just like why is he still around? But it been consistency, especially like the stuff he been doing with Seth Rollins. Like you really can see like the craft of his ring style had changed like dramatically. It changed from like one of those goofy people that's jumping around the ring to someone that's really strategizing the art of like the match. If you really remember back from the Elimination Chamber, he was just chilling. Like he was really wasn't doing a whole lot of nothing until it was his time to strike. He kind of had like that edge mentality. Like when he was doing his thing back like '09 or was it like 2007 or whatever, he kind of had that mentality in the way. If a lot of y'all people just go back and just peep it out a little bit. But yeah, I'm rolling with Austin Theory. Not discrediting Cena because you know how we was, dog. We used to
Yeah.
fucking that motherfucker so irritating. But when I got to the point, dog, like, damn, man, I kind of miss John. Like, for some reason,
It
like,
get like that when they disappear, don't it? It get like that when they gone for a while. You be like, shit, we could use some Cena right now.
you feel me?
Especially when you watch like Raw and you see like half pints like Johnny Gargano and shit. You be like, man, I would rather see Cena cut a promo
Yeah,
about some dumb shit than watch this motherfucker. But I think that I don't think Cena is going to win. Um, them going on first, I think, kind of gives it away. I think if you're gonna beat Cena, beat him early, so the
yeah,
people can, from looking at the card structure, I know they've been bouncing it around. They're not sure whether it's going to open or main event. I'm thinking it's going to be the opener because that's what they said.
yeah.
And it looked like they might just throw that silly showcase match on second, which would get people over it once people getting their feelings about John Cena losing. I
Hmm.
think you can create a way for John Cena to lose without him to look like a chump. Like it could be, Theory cheats, and who knows? They might have more than one match. I was thinking about this. Like they might have a series of matches where maybe Austin Theory steals this one,
Right.
and maybe they run it back at SummerSlam or Saudi Arabia or something like that, so
Hey,
Cena can get the dub.
yeah.
But I don't think
Go
I
ahead.
don't think Cena needs to win this. Like I don't like that he lost the last time. Well, I think the last time was SmackDown when he was on. TV. But the last big one-on-one match, Cena lost. He lost to Roman Reigns.
Right.
So I don't like that we putting him in this position to lose again because he also lost to Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, but I think that they wouldn't have done this if Theory was going to lose because I think this is for the United States title, and it is.
You know what I don't like about it is the build-up. You clearly seen Austin Theory mocking Cena and doing the things like, "Yeah, I grew up with you," and clearly he looked like a young John Cena. Like, why
Right.
would build up like they did with him and The Rock, or at least a little bit closer? They could have did like around the time, like when he lost the Money in the Bank thing, when he really wasn't doing nothing like that. They could have
Yeah.
built just a tad bit, like especially when Cena came back with the ball spot back in like December or whatever it was. It could have been some shit like that, like have Cena come back. But it's probably timing with Cena or whatever. He doing this thing wherever he at. But it just would have made a little bit more sense with a little bit more storytelling. You know what I mean, leading up to this. You get what I'm saying?
I definitely think that they dropped the ball on the storytelling because Austin Theory had a rough year in 2022. Like I
Yeah.
said, that promo that John Cena cut, he basically just tore him a new asshole. If he'd have cut that promo last year,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, right after he lost the Money in the Bank or something like that,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, yeah, that it'd have made sense because he already on the bottom. Now he got to build himself back up. But
Right.
it's like right now he feels like he's ready to fight John Cena, and John Cena comes in and crushes him, and then he just walk off, just kind of absconded and disappeared.
Right.
And now everybody's kind of like, so Cena's not going to make another. He's not going to show up again to build this match. And then they didn't even have Theory build the match. He cut the empty arena promo, but that was the only time he mentioned John Cena since the time he stayed in the ring with him. So they really dropped the ball on the build for sure. And I
Yeah.
think that's going to take away from Austin Theory winning, because everybody's not going to remember that the build was any good. So it's probably going to be the video package is going to be Theory talking about him being a John Cena fan and all this kind of stuff, and then Cena cutting into him.
Yeah.
But I don't like the build for this. The build's whack, which is
Yeah.
kind of. I can't wait till I can. I told everybody on the channel after WrestleMania, if Triple H botches some shit, I'm tearing into him. I've been criticizing him a lot, but now it's 0 hour.
You don't like
He
the
got
Triple?
two shots to make it. He got 2 shots to make it.
You don't like the Triple H era?
Man, I'm looking at it. It's okay. That's what I put it like that. It's okay.
Yeah.
But there are certain decisions that I'm not a big fan of.
Right.
Like this next one, Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders.
I don't think I got that.
I mean, really, why even make this match?
Yeah, I don't even got that shit. Now I ain't got that shit written down. About it, but yeah, go ahead.
So I don't know who wins because I don't care. Like I don't even know. Like, did the winners get anything? Do the losers lose anything? Like the losing team got to break up? Just nothing. It's just a match for the match's sake. I don't know who's going to win. I look at it and I just say the only team in it that's really getting pushed is Braun and Ricochet, I guess. And that's not really a tag team. It's just two guys they got nothing for,
I'm gonna say something. Me and my guys been saying that word for the longest. Is Montez Ford don't throw his old boy through the fucking mirror just like Sean did Mario Jannetty. We gonna get fed up with the Street Profits again. Another person, another team. You had a spark when you started. Now you're just garbage. Jay-Z.
Yeah, I think everybody waiting for Montez Ford to break free.
Yeah.
It was
It's
for me. I'm thinking that the breakthrough is probably going to be after Mania. They've been teasing it for a little while now, but I don't want them to fight as much as I just want Montez Ford to go on about his business.
right.
I want that casual New Day drift away. You know how Big E just kind of drifted away from the New Day. That's kind of how I want Montez Ford to just do his own thing, and Angelo Dawkins to do his own thing, and you never hear anything about a breakup. It's just they two guys going their own way, and
You think
Maybe the draft or something like that to separate them, and that'd be for the best or whatever.
you think Dawkins can do it by himself though? Like,
I think he's taking it more seriously now. Like if you look at how he changed his body, like he's in much better shape. He's far more athletic than he used to be. He's not as charismatic as Montez Ford, but I think that he carries his part of the team. It's not a complete wash when it comes to the Street Profits. It's not like it's just Tez and nobody.
yeah.
Angelo Dawkins he's doing his part.
Right.
Unfortunately, people are just so focused on Tez that he getting overshadowed. And I think it might actually be better for Angelo Dawkins if the Street Profits were to be separated.
Right.
Because then he could do his own thing and he don't have to worry about, being overshadowed by Montez Ford.
True. What do you think about jumping off the subject a little bit? I just asked one more question. Like a brand separation?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. They probably gonna get drafted to different brands.
Okay.
So that's what it looked like. Like they tried that shit with New Day and they keep finding their way back to each other, man. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, I think the Street Profits gonna separate.
Okay. Yeah. To answer your question though, I'm thinking I'm rolling with Strowman and Ricochet. They got a weird type of chemistry that I think people like, and I was learning that when you remember we was playing that WWE, I guess Legend Mode, whatever the fuck it was. That's all guy with the big guy. I know that's a traditional thing to do, but it gives like the ooh ah factor for the like that. You know what I mean? Because you know how it is. Most people want the big guy. Most people want the small guy. You got Ricochet, like and Braun, like it's just like Braun they both can hold their own, but it just like it's the same old thing like every night, but it's just different seeing it together. You feel me? Like they got so much maneuvering they can do. There's so many finishing maneuvers because Ricochet, you can throw him all over the place and he can do whatever. And already big, like they got a lot of potential for sure. So I'm rolling with Braun and Ricochet.
Yeah, I think that Braun and Ricochet got the best. They the best choice to win. Besides, the Street Profits don't win anything like ever. But I think Braun and Ricochet are probably going to end up being the best choice due to that big man, little man dynamic, but also because Braun Strowman is consistently pushed. Like, there was a short amount of time there when he was dealing with like Gunther when he wasn't winning a lot. But for the most part, Strowman wins most of the matches that he's in, and I don't see why he wouldn't win this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with that.
Gotcha.
All right, Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. What you got?
Oh, definitely Rey Mysterio. This motherfucking Rey. Oh God. I like this build up. This shit, Dominic, he was so fucking irritating at first. It's kind of like the Owen Hart, Bret Hart shit. That's why I like a lot of people shitting on Dominic for the longest, and I was too until he went heel. I'm like, bet he went heel. We'll see what they're gonna do with it, man. Dominic terrible on the mic, but he just do annoying shit like and then when Owen. Again, that match that him and Brett had at WrestleMania 10, like I ain't gonna say them it was the same match, but they can't let Rey Mysterio go out like that, dog. Like, you know how much shit Rey Mysterio been through since we was a kid?
Yeah.
This nigga threw him fucking against his trailer, and we was like only like 15 or 14 years old. This motherfucking man been wrestling since forever. We about to be 4 years old. Now this man is still wrestling since we was in middle school. They gotta send him with a bang.
Yeah, I think Ray gonna have to carry him, obviously, but I think if they work the match right, which it probably seems like Damian Priest doesn't have a match on this show, so that tells me that he probably gonna be a big part of this match.
Yeah.
So he probably gonna be outside the ring, pulling the leg, pushing Ray into the ring post, all that kind of shit, in order to get the heat. Because Dominic's still not very good in the ring. Like he still needs work in the ring, but he got the character shit down good. Like he's really good as a heel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dominic. I'm gonna go with Dominic because I think there's gonna be a lot of outside help. And I think Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, and all them gonna be outside the ring. But they have basically use them as crash test dummies for Dominic and Judgment Day for like I don't know, like 3 weeks straight. So I don't
Yeah.
see them being a big impediment to Dominic winning. I think they're gonna try to create something where Dominic wins, but it's kind of a fluky way where it's a roll up, foot on the ropes, pull of the tights. Maybe he snatches Ray's mask off or something like that. It's
I
gonna
was
be something, but I think Dominic's gonna end up going over.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because what popped in my mind was the Ric Flair Shawn Michaels thing. But
Yeah,
and like another thing that popped in my mind too was just like uh, again snatching the mask off. Would that be like detrimental to luchadors around the world and shit like that, or would that just be like the end of an era? Like I want to know because I don't know exactly what's going on like as far as like the luchador wrestling side of the
I
industry.
think that if he does snatch his mask off, Ray just gonna cover his face, and then I probably end up with the roll up. They've done that. They've done that a couple of times. I think they had Chris Jericho snatch his mask once.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, they've had other people rip it and everything like that. So I think that's a clear weakness that they can play off of because since Dominic doesn't wear a mask, and then
right.
they've had the whole mask thing leading up to this anyway with Legado del Fantasma. So I'm thinking, Dominic's probably gonna just rip his mask or snatch it off. Ray's gonna cover his face with his hands. Dominic rolls him up, feet on the ropes, pull it the tights or whatever, and just walks out of there with the win.
But do
But
you
this match is going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward. This is one of the matches I'm really looking forward to on this show.
But do you think? Because you remember with the promos, Dominic was pushing. Key word he kept on just saying like you haven't been around. So do you
Yeah.
think? Would you think will it be a dramatic moment to the point like I'm sorry, I love you, super kick type of thing? Not super kick, but pretty much like a hug out or something to the point like the judgment they're like what the fuck what I mean then kick him out. Do you think?
Oh, that's a good point. I think Dominic has gone so far that you can't flip him in one night.
Yeah,
I
you
can
right.
see Dominic maybe if he what how would that happen though? Like because they've done everything they could to Ray. They've jumped him, they
Yeah.
beat on him, they've done all kind of shit to him, and Dominic hasn't felt any remorse for it. So what? How would you introduce remorse into that angle? The only thing I can think of is that Ray wins and
Yeah.
tries to make a peace offering with Dominic, and and it doesn't work out. Like I can see that happening, but like when they try to do the old handshake deal, but I don't know if that's gonna fly. But I'm
Okay.
also thinking about WrestleMania 21. Eddie and Ray had the match opener, and it was a banger, you
Mm,
know.
right.
But they were both baby faces at the time. Hell, they were the tag team champions at the time.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna try to have some of that magic, but I don't think it's gonna work out. I think Dominic's gonna have to win
Yeah.
because to me, I don't think Ray is done, but I don't think Ray's gonna fight this one with his heart and soul.
Mm.
Let's see. Top Dog says, "Do y'all think Ray's wife and daughter will be involved in the match?" I think they got to be, don't they? At least the daughter does. Like somebody got to hop the barricade. I'm thinking somebody got to hop the barricade and be like, and I think that would be an interesting way to end it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe, may, maybe Ray can't continue, and the daughter jumps the barricade to stop the match or something like that.
That's just Ray get super aggressive on him, like to start beating the shit out of him to the point like his wife come in or the mom come in or whatever. That's what I feel. Or it could be I don't know. Like I think how they build it up is Ray at that point. Like again, what you saw what Ray did to him. Like
Right.
you don't see Ray get aggressive like that. You know what I mean? It's usually like a couple kicks or some shit like that. Like he straight up got in his shit. And so I really, again, it's gonna be very interesting. Again, like there's people. I know it's not gonna be the Brett and Owen. It's not gonna be toothpaste back into the tube. It's just gonna be a little bit similar, but it's gonna be some spice on it for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that one. For real,
Yeah,
for real.
it's got to be. Do you think it's gonna be an Eddie finish and Ray gets the win? I don't know. Like if if Ray was to probably try to pull, maybe Dominic will try to pull some kind of Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero thing with like the chair and everything. Like he get the chair in the ring, he bash the chair against the floor, throw it to the ref, or throw it to Ray and then drop down or whatever. I could see them trying something like that.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I'm very concerned about how this thing is going to go in ring.
This is the first.
Hopefully, don't turn into a clusterfuck.
Oh no, I think Vince went against Shane one time at WrestleMania.
Yeah, Vince wrestled Shane at WrestleMania. Yep.
Never mind.
That was WrestleMania 17, I think.
Oh, okay.
Dom got to rock the Gringos Locos gear. Yeah, the red and white joints. He do got to drum to the joints, man. That would be nice if he did that. The old the Eddie Guerrero art bar joints. That'd be sweet. So I'm gonna go with Dominic, man. I just think that they've been doing a lot to put Dominic over. He doesn't need to win because Dominic can lose and he'll be all right. But I'm thinking that we're going to go with Dominic. I think everybody wants Ray to win, though.
Yeah.
All right, so Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Man, you know we roll with the visionary, the architect. Come on, man. Seth Rollins is it's going to be a good match for sure. You know what I mean? Because man, my man's like I know a lot of people be hating on him because he came from straight YouTube and just doing what people have been doing for years, but you gotta give that man credit. Like shit like that he doing in the ring, that shit is amazing. But fucking with Seth Rollins at a WrestleMania, I ain't gonna say Seth Rollins is the WrestleMania of all WrestleMania, Mr. WrestleMania, or WrestleMania Mr. Number 2, and no shit like that, but nah. He ain't fucking with Seth Rollins. I'm sorry. I'm
sorry. I'm gonna go with Seth too. This is where knowing too much about about everything. They've been talking about Logan Paul's contract being up after this show anyway. So I'm thinking, but I think that even if Logan Paul was going to wrestle, he was going to lose this match too. The fact of the matter is, if Seth Rollins loses, if it doesn't really hurt him. But you have to ask the question, like, where is he going? Like, what is his career about if he loses to, like, Logan Paul? So I'm thinking, like, Logan Paul, he's a special attraction. He doesn't need to win. Win for what? He's not going to be the champion, at least not anytime soon. He's just out there to have crazy athletic matches. He's going to go out there and have a crazy athletic match with Seth Rollins. And Rollins is going to win it. That's cool to me. That's fine. And I think we're probably going to end up revisiting Cody and Seth Rollins at some point this year.
Yeah. My question is, what is Seth win-loss record at WrestleMania since the heights of the century? After that, like, what have he done? Like, I mean, off the top of your head, like,
he beat Brock. He beat Brock.
He beat Brock.
Triple H, and he beat Brock and Triple H. I know that for sure. Because I remember the Triple H feud because that's when he popped up on NXT. And I actually enjoyed the match he had with Triple H at that WrestleMania. I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 34, maybe 33 or something like that. But he beat Brock and he beat Triple H. So I think he lost most of the other matches that he had at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's like drawn down to like you just out here just looking fly and not really getting the job done. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he was the Intercontinental Champion at 34. Okay. I think he lost the title. I think Finn Balor won the title then. Okay. So he had the match with Triple H at what? Was it before? No, Triple H was champion at 32. He wrestled Roman Reigns in a really terrible match. Was it 31 then? Yeah, he wrestled Seth Rollins and Triple H. One of the nerds. It was 33. Okay. Oh yeah, that was the year that Balor did the gay thing. Yeah. He had the fruity colors for WrestleMania, the triple threat match, 34 in New Orleans. Boy, he talked about something that caused his career to nosedive. It was over after that, boy. Damn. Damn.
Right. Seth just got a lot of, like what is going on here? Like, from at this point, because it's, I mean, everything is just there, but it's just not. I guess like the moment that everybody looks for, or some shit like that. But I think somebody mentioned like, have you even main evented a WrestleMania match? Like, my God, like
No,
everything.
he's never actually closed the show though. Like he never actually closed the show. Oh yeah, he did. Russ, he beat Kevin Owens in the Pandemic Mania. Wait a minute, I thought he lost that match. Didn't he lose that match?
I think so. I
I
think
haven't watched that match in a long time. It was the Pandemic match. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 36. I think it was at night one of WrestleMania 36. I thought Rollins lost that match, but apparently he won it. I don't know.
okay.
I
Hold on, hold
don't,
on, hold on. I got he lost. I got it up here now. Yeah, he from where we're talking from, he won against Triple H, he won against Brock, you know, won against The Miz in a triple threat, won against Brock again, lost against Kevin Owens, lost against Cesaro, lost against Cody Rhodes, and Logan Paul. So 3 losses.
damn. I didn't even know he wrestled Cesaro at WrestleMania. Where WrestleMania was that? 30, 35? Or 37? It was 37, right?
Out here.
What WrestleMania was that when he wrestled Cesaro?
2021.
Okay, so that was 21. Yeah, it was
Russell.
37. All right. So he got to be Logan Paul, man. I don't see any reason for him to lose to Logan Paul. I mean, it's not going to be like a major victory for Seth Rollins. It's not going to be like a huge major victory for Seth,
Yeah.
but it's one that he needs because he can't just go out here and get punked out by Logan Paul. That's ridiculous. All right, so Becky Lynch, Trish, and Lita versus Damage Control.
Um. Oh man. I think I'm rolling with Becky Lynch and what's that? Lita.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with them. That team just came out of nowhere, and for some reason, I'm not really trusting Becky Lynch like that. I don't know. She just giving me I don't know, chair to the back vibes, dog. I don't know. Shit just seemed awkward. It don't even look right together. But
Yeah, Trish Stratus looks like a third wheel when it comes to this whole thing, and she been in a weird situation this whole time.
yeah,
I think I'm gonna go with Damage Control though. Like Damage, like my man WG Phil says right here, Damage Control need this win. Like they got nothing. They suck. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I've been against Damage Control since they debuted, bro. They need this win like bad, like a kidney transplant. They need this win. Like they like Trish and Lita don't need to win matches. I mean, it's just gonna be cool to see them out there.
yeah,
They could pull, the heel turn on and have Trish turn on Lita and all them. I don't know where we go with that once we do it. It's like what's the end game for that?
yeah,
But ultimately, I'm cool with it.
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of the match though. I'm
yeah,
not a big fan of this match in general. I'm more of a fan of the idea of Becky and Lita being tag team. I'm cool with that. It did come out of nowhere,
yeah.
but I'm all right with it because I don't care about those stupid women's tag team belts. I don't care about them shits.
Oh wait, talk that shit. Like why?
But to me, they have no plan for them. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what you do or what belt you have or what belt you create. If you
yeah,
have no interest in actually putting any effort into it,
yeah.
then why would anybody want to see it? That's sort of my question.
Okay, got
So
you.
it's like they put the belts on Becky Lynch and Lita on Raw, but then they're not gonna have them defend the belts. They're just gonna have them basically wrestling a 6-woman tag, you know. But it's
Yeah,
like there's so many women on the roster that they do need some kind of secondary title. Like there's so many women now on the roster. I don't want to suggest like what they call it a women's intercontinental title. I don't know about that one.
yeah,
But I just don't care about these fucking belts. They don't have any tag teams. They don't build the tag team division. It's what the hell's the purpose of them things, man? Like I don't get it. I don't get what the story is with these belts. And once again, they're not being defended. So it makes like what Sasha Banks and Naomi and all of them were saying. It makes it true. Like the belts are being showcased because the champions are very visible, but the titles aren't being defended. So they just there. They're just on the show. You know.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they want to have so many women on the roster, but they don't want to, actually do anything with the women on the roster.
Yeah,
it's kind of janky.
They're not really setting up no tag teams or nothing like that for the women and stuff like that. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what that stupid showcase match is for, but there's really no point to that either because it's like nobody cares about that shit because none of these are real tag teams.
Right.
None of them are real tag teams, so who cares? All right. Oh, did I say? Oh yeah, Damage Control. I'm gonna go with Damage Control.
Okay.
All right. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, SmackDown Women's Title.
Man, you know what? Ripley been looking good out here, man. She didn't turn to the modern day China out this bitch, dog. And dog, it was one of them situations like you remember how China. Well, this is my personal opinion. How China used to look like kind of like unattractive. Then all of a sudden she started. I don't know what the fuck. Been working out, getting surgery, and she started looking attractive. Man, Ripley been looking sexy out here, dog. Like for real. I know this is way out the subject. I just want to put that out there, but yeah, Ripley. Yeah, you gonna get that W. I'm sorry, Charlotte. You the GOAT of all women's wrestling. I ain't gonna hold you up. Like the way you perform in the ring is nothing I ain't never seen a woman can do, and you make it look easy. You better than your daddy, for real. But the momentum Ripley got, like, dog, this ain't gonna be like that other WrestleMania when it was in that empty arena. Nah.
Yeah, it was 36.
Yeah, it about to be a whole nother story. Charlotte about to learn today. And the only reason I'm saying that, like Charlotte, I don't know what she been doing. I don't know Netflix and chilling or whatever, but shit, something called ring rust. You know what I'm saying? Not to say like she can't go in there and get on top of them and get it real quick, but I don't know. Ripley, really she about to have her way with her.
Yeah, I think Rhea got to win. Rhea got to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only reason Charlotte even got the belt is so that she could drop it to Rhea and they could tell the story of, Rhea losing the NXT belt to her at WrestleMania 36. And that's cool and everything, but I have not been feeling the build. This match is going to be a good match.
Yeah.
There's no doubt it's going to be a pretty good match. These girls can both work. They're both capable of bangers. So I can see that with the pressure and everything that's going to be on them, I could see them putting out the banger. The question is going to be, however, what you're going to do afterwards. Again, I think this is one of those things where we're basically just setting up Charlotte to be knocked down, but the question is going to be what you do it afterwards. I'm 100% on board with Rhea Ripley winning. I called this shit last year. I was like, she's going to win the Rumble, then she's going to win at WrestleMania, and both of those things are going to happen. The problem's going to be what you do afterwards. Is she going to be a closet champion? Is she going to get pushed in the closet like they did with Bianca Belair or what? Like that's the thing about Triple H booking I'm not a big fan of. Like as soon as Charlotte was well, he put the belt back on her like immediately. But I see why he did that. He did that to have this match. The problem with this match is they talking about making this the main event. What you think about this being the main event?
That'll be the first night. With those names that you mentioned, when is the Edge and Finn Balor one? Is that the next night or
yeah, it's on night 2?
Yeah, I'm not really against it because it is like technically a championship match. So no, I ain't really against it. I know they did that with what was that Bianca Belair and what's her name? When Bianca had won the belt the first time.
I don't think this should be the main event. No way, man. The build been too shitty. If the build was fire, I would be like, yeah, main event. But it's not the main event.
Right.
It's just not main event worthy build. It's the co-main event. It is what it is. Yeah. They can be as mad as they want to. Charlotte can get as salty as she wants. It's not the main event, though.
Right.
That's not. It's the shits. The true main event of the evening, the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, WWE Tag Team Championship.
All right. As much as I don't want to say this, I might have to say it got to be Sammy and Kevin Owens. Um, just off of the build up that was happening, and all the fans been riding with Sammy. It's kind of like the Kofi Kingston moment, Daniel Bryan type of moment. And of course, he's not about to get that moment like they got. But the fans, they want to see him get something because they still feel salty from the Elimination Chamber. So, yeah, I got to go with Sam. I don't want to because I love the Bloodline. It's the greatest storyline ever in history, dog. But yeah, it might have to be Sammy and Kevin, man.
Yeah, I think it all set up for Sammy and Kevin to go over, man. I'm telling you, the Bloodline is the best story in the last 20 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The issue that we got here is, when do you end it? Like you have to end it at some point, and if you're gonna end it, it needs to end right now.
Right.
You know, and so Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are the right team in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
The great storyline in place. If you put them on last, they're gonna kill it. People are definitely going to be standing up for this match. You're not going to go home.
Yeah.
You're not going to be tired. You're not going to be sleepy. The Sami Zayn energy is still going to be banging through everybody.
Yeah.
If you put this match anywhere other than last, you're probably going to kill the crowd.
Yeah, true.
So I think you got to go ahead and give them the big moment. The big moment with Sammy and Kevin, at the end, hugging and everything.
Yeah.
Man. They're trying to recreate the Eddie and Benoit moment.
Yeah.
To make it special. So I would go with that. I'm gonna go with the Usos taking the L on this one.
Yeah, I do. It's hard for me to say. To speak on what you're saying about the bloodline thing, it's kind of like it's just before our time and stuff like that. But what Andre the Giant was doing his thing, what I heard, he was like kind of like an independent wrestler. That's the reason why I don't know if he was champion or he was just undefeated for a long period of time. Like I know that's like some back in the day stuff that's not going to be recreated, but I think that the thing about what the bloodline doing, it's kind of like some shit you will never see again. It's like you never see what Tom Brady doing. It ain't gonna be no another Tom Brady. And the thing is, only problem is the difference between who the Usos are going against, opposed to like who the New Age Outlaws or LOD is going against. The competition ain't up there like that. Like the New Day, they kind of winding down with injuries. Roman Reigns, he beating up all the old people that ain't really in their prime like that. You know what I'm saying? And if they ain't beating them, it's pretty much they cheating to win and stuff like that. It's a little different, you feel me? But still, like just the story alone is the greatest shit that you won't see that shit ever again. And for on a quality level, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard to recreate something that's like the Bloodline, man. That's why you got to be careful about how you end it, because the ending says it all. Like the NWO didn't end with the greatest of splashes, and people kind of like poo that shit now. Like everybody talk about the beginning of the NWO.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about the end because the end was kind of like, what was it? Like what was the end actually? Like they were supposed to separate after Sting, but then they continued. Then Goldberg beat them. Then it continued. Then they formed NWO 2000. Then it was NWO WWE. It's like, okay, this shit's just never going to end. Like this is the story that never ends.
Hey, you know what it ended when they went to the WWE when The Rock was like, "Who you, Big Daddy Cool?" I was like, "Oh yeah, you getting clowned like that? Y'all supposed to be people clowning people." And then Hogan went good guy. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this shit over."
Yeah, it was dead. Over. It was dead, and so I think the Bloodline, they better off. You could always recreate the Bloodline as a babyface stable. I think they'll probably do that in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I think you got to go ahead and call this one right now, man. We need to go ahead with Sami and Kevin, just for Sami Zayn's WrestleMania moment. And I think it's going to probably play into WrestleMania the next year, where I think probably Sami Zayn going to end up with the belt. We're going to talk about that some other time, though. All right, so that's night one. No, night 2, WrestleMania Sunday. The Women's Showcase Tag Team Championship, or Tag Team match, I'm sorry. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green.
Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Them other motherfuckers, hell no. Get them shits out of there. Yeah. Them two right there, they ain't fuck with them. It's over. I thought I had it in my notes, but I remember that match coming up. Nah. It's over.
Yeah, the rest of these girls are just victims, right?
Pretty much. It's going to be a slaughter.
I mean, there's nothing to be gained or lost from this.
I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie Terrifier, but y'all need to go watch that shit. This is what this match about to be. Only problem is there ain't gonna be no blood.
I definitely think that they probably gonna end up putting the tag team belts on Ronda and Shayna, so they got to win this match in order to get there.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the only plan I could think of with on the stupid tag team titles.
Oh shit!
So Brock Lesnar versus Omos. What you got?
Man, first of all, Omos. Oh my god, this dude in the ring, man. I swear they better up on a light pole up in the ring. Like why, dog? Giant Gonzalez, who was the other motherfucker? Great Khali. Man, this shit all over again, and I'm like, bruh. And I thought Omos was gonna be something because I remember he first came and nigga had kicked the guitar and shit like that. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, this nigga got it. But bruh, like, nah, man. Brock about to. Of course, Brock gonna try to sell as much as he can, but I knew this nigga ain't had it when he tried to clothesline Brock over the top rope and Brock ain't go. He got to help himself over. I'm like, oh my god, this match about to be horrible.
He's very aggressive. He's very aggressive though.
Suplex City, bitch. Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I think we're building up to Brock. We're building up to Brock picking him up. That's really all it is. Brock want to have his Andre moment, you know.
Right.
He just want to be. He gonna German suplex this motherfucker. Once he started throwing him around the ring, F5 is gonna be over with. And we gonna call it a day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's gonna be a huge pop when he finally German suplexes him. It's gonna be even bigger pop when he lifts him up for the F5.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. That's all this is about. This is about moments. This ain't even about the match itself.
Right, you still
Brock
got
gonna take something. He gonna take like a boot to the face, maybe a choke bomb or something like that, and he gonna unload on this nigga, man.
Right. Yeah, it's a dub.
It's gonna be funny. This match gonna be six minutes with interest.
Yeah, like I said, Brock ain't gonna get completely washed though. Like they ain't gonna let him get a little spots off, but yeah. Yeah, well, when Brock get the brocking, Brock is brocking.
Yeah, when Brock is brocking, you know, nobody brocks like Brock does. So.
For real. I don't care what nobody say.
Damn right. All right, Bianca Belair versus Asuka, Raw Women's Championship.
I was doing my research on this, and I'm a Bianca Belair fan because my daughter loves her and I fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, I think Asuka gonna come up with a mysterious win. Because is Asuka a heel or is she?
She turned heel, and then they act like she didn't. So
yeah,
she turned heel, and then the next week they didn't mention it. So
she actually got to do something like very mysterious to really certify her heelness to make the fans.
She's gonna do like a ninja smoke bomb or some shit like that, and disappear and reappear somewhere else. Like she already spit up all the goo she got.
Yeah. Nigga, she gotta get some scissors and cut her hair, nigga. You gotta take it to the streets, Japanese style, baby. You feel me? Like, dog, she gotta really take it there, man, or at least like give the assumption that you about to cut that shit. Cause you know how Bianca get down. You know what I mean? You touch your hair, then that's when it's whipping season. Like if it get to that point, bro, like it gotta be a illusion because Asuka's creating. She's been doing this for years now, and it's taking me a while to like really figure out what the fuck is going on. But I'm starting to kind of like get it now. Yeah, she gotta get real mysterious with this one. So I'm going with Asuka. but I want Bianca to win. That's my dog.
This is a tough one because my critiques of Triple H's booking, part of it is how he's treated Bianca Belair. You know, she's been on the back burner since SummerSlam. You know, ever since Triple H took over, Bianca Belair has not been one of his favorites. Like he ain't buried her, obviously, but it seems like he obviously been setting her up for the big fall. And this is it, you know. So I'm thinking Asuka's going to win. Asuka's a Triple H girl. Bianca's been champion for a year, you know. So that alone tells you right there that she can lose and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But when you really look at this title win and like how she's been running since SummerSlam, it ain't been the same as like when Vince was pushing. Like when Vince was pushing Bianca was on TV every week. She was talking every week.
Yeah.
She won 90% of the time. You know, but since Triple H took over, she ain't been on TV all the time. She was up there teamed up with who was she teamed up with? I think it was Becky Lynch or somebody else. I don't remember who the other person was. Alexa Bliss, that's who it was.
Oh yeah.
And then they had Alexa Bliss turn on her. She beat Alexa Bliss, but that was no big deal because Alexa Bliss was still like half in the bag. Like the whole thing with Bianca ain't done shit this year. Like she ain't done nothing this year. So they telling me right now that they're gonna take the belt from her. It's unfortunate, but I'm okay with Asuka winning the title because I love Asuka. I really do.
Right.
But they've really booked Bianca to be bulletproof for like 3 years. Like you have to really cheat in order to beat her.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes into your point. Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, true.
For Asuka to be able to keep her down for a 3 because Bianca is one of those big muscular chicks. She's much bigger than Asuka. Outside of technical expertise, I'm guessing she gonna spit mist on her face. You know, like
that would be too. It's like she gotta like Asuka. She definitely need an advocate at this point, and if it could be some shit like fucking the doinking deep the clown method, like a bunch of little fucking Oscars. I know that's kind of corny. It ain't gotta be like that.
Oh shit, midget Oscars. I'm all about the midget Oscars, baby. I'm in it now.
With purple lips and shit like that.
Oompa Loompa.
They gotta have some shit that's gonna be, you know what I mean? She needs somebody to rep for, like like Hakushi and shit like that. We haven't seen that white face nigga since then, but it's still the persona. You feel me? Yeah, it got to be something mysterious, and that's not something too obvious. Because I do say that with the WWE lately, the endings ain't been like you kind of like feel that some people gonna win, but still they it's not the traditional win, like for instance like the knocking a referee out and shit like that. You haven't seen that in a long time. You know what I mean? So I'll be interested how they curve this one.
Yeah, I think Bianca Belair being champion for a year, it would be great if she could continue that run.
Mm-hmm.
But I need Triple H to actually see Bianca Belair's talent again. When she was in NXT, he had her doing nothing but jobbing, man. And then Vince pushed her right out of the gate. That's kind of why I'm very suspicious of Triple H. You know how he's been handling Bianca Belair. I ain't been a fan.
I hold on before you get to the next subject. It's similar to the Triple H thing. You remember Triple H, whenever he felt like he about to lose or he losing, he going to the sledgehammer. That's her claim to fame is her hair. Every time you fuck with the hair, that's when it's over with. If they once somebody can figure out how to get over the hair situation, then I guess that would be the dub. You know what I mean? Because I
figure they could do something slick. Like I know they because it's PG or whatever, you can't strangle. But maybe they could like wrap her hair around her own neck or something like that, and like do something like that, or wrap her arms up with it or something like that.
Right.
But you could there's some things you could do with her hair that will that could cause her to lose. I think they did something really interesting. I forget what match it was, which they tied. I think Bailey tied her hair to the second rope or something like that.
Yeah, I think
there's some things you could do with her hair that will be unique. and what caused her to lose without her, just getting knocked out unconscious. It's like, at this point, do you really want to see like Bianca Belair get knocked out? It's like, nah, man, she's a bulletproof black chick. She's Foxy Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to, you don't want people fucking with that. She's Pam Grier right now. You don't want nobody fucking with that. So you got to, if she got to lose, she got to lose in a way where, you got to think she's coming back for him later. Like when she lost to Becky that time, it was like, oh, okay, so she's coming back.
Yeah. And again, like they gotta make it to make her a stream heel because she gonna want her rematch and shit like that if she do lose. She gotta make it hella dramatic.
All right, Intercontinental Championship: Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, triple threat match.
This about to be a motherfucking scrap, dog. Gunther, that motherfucker, dog. Dog, he be going ham, dog. I don't know what happened, dog. He was just fucking fat as shit. Then this nigga got skinny as shit, and this started. Well, he been smacking the shit out of people when he was in the UK, but nigga, this nigga here, dog. Like, bruh, like I'm glad he in here with these big niggas. I want to see these big niggas rumble for sure. And it probably be a fucking. It probably gonna be some shit. They probably gonna brawl out in the. It probably be a disqualification or some shit. I don't fucking know. They probably gonna knock each other out. Everybody be fucking knocked out. Like, I'm ready for this shit here, boy. This shit about to be gangster. I'm fucking Gunther though. Gunther, my nigga, dog. This nigga's hard for real.
I am very critical of the triple threat idea. I don't like the triple threat idea. I don't like triple threat matches.
Why?
So I'm on a tip where I would prefer if it was 1-on-1. I would have preferred if it was Gunther and McIntyre 1-on-1, or even Gunther and Sheamus again 1-on-1. But the triple threat idea, they are going to beat the shit out of each other. Like, these three dudes are about to go ham. They're about to go ham for sure.
It do get forgettable and shit like that. I know I keep bringing up old shit, but you getting me in my mode, dog. You remember in their prime, it was Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 2000?
Yep.
Yeah, some people don't remember that, like, because they stopped so similar. You feel me? And I don't really remember, like, not really one spot. I don't really remember who won the match, but the simple fact
it was a double title match where, like, it was 2 out of 3 falls. So, like, the first match for the Intercontinental title, second falls for the European title or something like that.
Yeah.
So Benoit won one of the rounds, and Jericho won one of the rounds, and Kurt Angle lost both of his belts.
Okay, yeah. But they style so similar, like, you don't really think about it. So I get what you're saying with the triple threat thing. Like, this match, this probably will be forgettable because it's just all three of their styles are just so similar. And it's going to be like a big-ass whooping that's all throughout. This shit about to be gangster, dog. Bring out the popcorn. Bring out the fucking tequila. It's going down.
This is definitely the one where I'm probably going to have to make nachos or something, dog. I'm certainly gonna have to serve up the nachos or something for this.
Yeah. I hope it's the first match, dog. That shit would get part night 2 on and popping straight up.
Oh, if it's the opener, we in business. If we in business, if this the opener.
Oh yeah, blood pressure gonna be up for sure.
Right.
I'm fucking with that match.
Yeah, I like the idea of it opening too. I think Gunther is gonna win, and I think that's what the triple threat idea. I think it protects Drew McIntyre. I wouldn't be surprised if Sheamus takes the pin, and then Drew McIntyre fights Gunther 1-on-1 at the next pay-per-view. And I would have just preferred Gunther and McIntyre on here. I would have preferred Gunther and McIntyre on here because I think Sheamus is going to be the one taking the pin.
Okay.
All right, so if that match does not start the show, then I'm almost certain this one will. Edge, Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell.
I'm rolling with Edge for the dub. Just for the simple fact that the build up that happened to all this is pretty much like, I brought you over to the Judgment Day, and you do this, and I'm the leader and shit like that. Like, it's kind of like I need to get that get back, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, like, you it's in and people know Edge, like he can get down in any environment that you can get down with the old school shit, the cage match, well, the ladder matches and the Hell in a Cell stuff like that. Yeah, it just Finn Balor, you ain't been in no Hell in a Cell before. You know what I'm saying? I just hope Edge come out to his old school music and stop acting like he's some new weirdo person, man. Come out to that.
Yeah, I think they probably gonna do the mix joint. They probably gonna do the brew joint at first, and then have his original theme kick in later.
Yeah.
I would be cool with that. Like if they do a brew reunion, like this guy's Ike the Don talking about a brew reunion,
Yeah.
that would be sweet. Like the brew and the Judgment Day, that'd be hard.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. Like I don't know what Christian's status is with AEW. Like he literally got buried alive or some shit. So I don't know if he's gonna be coming back. But to me, I think because Edge lost the I Quit match, he's got to win here. Because where's Finn Balor going? Like unless you're gonna push him to the top of the card, which you could easily have Finn Balor versus the world champion or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think he's a contender. He's not a guy who's probably gonna win it, you know. So, but if Finn Balor wins this match, I can see them, pushing him in the main event.
But it's like a win-win for Finn, though. You feel me? Because it's like some people like they could take the L and still be a winner. That like, remind you, like Finn got a lot to prove. Like he's been proving himself a lot though since he went to NXT and he came back over here, to the main roster. So at this point now, again, it's his first Hell in a Cell. Like it won't be no shit off his back if he lose. It won't be no shit off his back if he win. You know what I'm saying? Like it's actually a win-win for him because Edge, I don't know. Again, like it's one of those things. Like, what's going to happen with you, Edge? Like, are you going to run in the sunset, or are you just going to be like a mentor? Because you're not really doing too much, really. You are, but you aren't. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
I do think that if Edge wins this match, he probably does go back to the main event. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Edge probably snatches one or two more main events out of this run because I think this is his last year. And he's wrestled a couple of the guys that he really wanted to work with already. Finn was one of the major ones. AJ Styles was one of the major ones. I think he might want to do some business with Cody. He wanted to wrestle Roman. He wanted to wrestle Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan. He wrestled all of those guys. It just sucks that the pandemic kind of cut into that. If we could have Edge for like one more year in order to make up for the pandemic, I'd be sweet. But I think that I think Edge is going to win because he lost the I Quit match. The issue is going to be what do we do going forward? Like they've been feuding for so long, the Finn Edge thing. They've been feuding for so long that you would think the winner of this feud has to go to the main event.
Yeah.
They have to. I mean, it's a Hell in a Cell match.
Or at least like a U.S. I mean, I really don't see Finn the main event level yet, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I really don't. Like it's hard for me to see it. Like maybe U.S. title, Intercontinental, or something like that, but it's hard for me to picture that shit, dog. Like he's still got a lot of like Money in the Banks to win or Royal Rumble to win. Like he ain't did none of that yet. You feel me?
Yeah, I think Finn Balor he's got to get some stripes. Like he won the first Universal title, but he ain't won nothing else. He's been Intercontinental champion for a short amount of time. I know he lost it to Bobby Lashley. He won it back from Bobby Lashley. I think he lost it again to Bobby Lashley or whatever. He won all the belts except the WWE title, I think, but he never won a Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber or nothing like that, King of the Ring and nothing like that. So he definitely needs some stripes. And I think having this big win at WrestleMania could be a nice little feather in his cap.
Yeah.
But you do have to ask the question, what about Edge after that? And I think that ultimately, this being Edge's last year, he could take that L and be okay. But I think since he lost that I Quit match, he's going to end up winning this one.
Yeah.
But Finn Balor does need something. AJ3 says Finn is Triple H's guy. and Edge and are not kind of friends. Yeah, Triple H has never been an Edge guy. He's never been an Edge booster. But I think that Edge is a supporter of Triple H now because Triple H, he needs people that he can trust to help him at least with his part of the show, because he knows that at the most Edge knows what he's doing. So even Edge and Triple H have never been on the same page. That's mostly when they were competitors. They were both top guys at the same time. When you talk about now that one is near retirement, the other one is actually retired, the situation is going to change a little bit. So I think Triple H definitely will lean on Edge in order to put a nice little bow on his own story. The issue is going to be the winner has to go forward, but go forward how? Oh yeah, and I forgot that the Demon is going to be in this match. So maybe that tells me that Finn Balor. Well, the Demon lost to
he lost
Roman
Reigns.
Yeah, the Demon lost to Roman Reigns. So we could do the Demon loses to Edge. All right, main event: Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes.
All right, where I'm at. All right. First of all, let me tell you how much I can stand Cody Rhodes, dog. This nigga, man. If this nigga ain't the fucking Lex Luger of 2023, shit, balls ate, dog. Like, nobody cares, dog. Your promos is too much. Like, I remember when you first came back, you had to be corrected by Seth Rollins and the Miz. No, it was Miz that correct you because you keep calling them wrestlers when it's entertainers. And, like, my nigga, like, this ain't motherfucking 1990, dog. You keep bringing up your dad and these motherfuckers. We don't care. But I know how they kind of turn this shit to get the fucking people going. I ain't gonna say they don't get the people going, but give him this little moment because he came from the AEW and he left and he was Stardust and all this other bullshit. Fuck him. Man, I roll with the big dog. I'm fucking with Roman, dog. Fuck him, dog. And this ain't really personal, dog. It is more like, dog, look at the people that Roman went through. And y'all gonna let him lose to fucking Cody Rhodes? Get the fuck out of here, dog.
That's a good point. He beat John Cena. He beat
Brock
Lesnar.
John Cena, like, man, all these motherfuckers he ran through, dog. Like, he went through the list, and clearly Roman got better on the mic skills. Only way this shit can happen is Roman be like, fuck it, I'm just burned out. I need a break. You know what I'm saying? And just go from there. Like, that's the only way I can see it. But other than that, dog, like, dog, you Cody. Nah, dog, nah, bro. I don't see it. Big dog, Roman Reigns. Acknowledge him.
I'm gonna go with Cody. I'm gonna go with Cody because I think that he's got the momentum. My issue is going to be afterwards. After Cody gets his big moment, he wins the title for his daddy, and he's standing in the middle of the ring with the titles and all this. Everybody's gonna be very excited. And then what? Exactly. Once the story is over, then what? What's gonna be the next angle? Right. And that's gonna be the challenge. We could always stay with the tried and true. We can stay with Roman Reigns, but then the question then becomes, like, people have been asking in the chat, if he beats Cody, there's nobody left. There's literally nobody left. You have to start cycling through people he's already beat. Well, and clearly going to be bringing in more people. Like, clearly after WrestleMania, there's going to be more people brought in.
Yeah, I mean, contrary. I mean, cut you off, man. But contrary to the popular belief, like I know a lot of people have been saying that, but they still haven't read a story with him and Bobby. They got Gunther.
Oh yeah, you're right. They haven't done last year yet.
Old boy from what's Rich Steiner's son. You know what I mean? They haven't built him up to like really like it just. They haven't really worked him around like the people that's really fucking people up. You know what I mean? They're just working around people that they know that shit, man. They ain't got no crew. They ain't got no fucking alliance with them. Build them that bloodline come out there, boom, chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Cody. I think Cody gonna win, man. They've been telling this story for a year now. calling him Lex Luger would be. It would definitely be Lex Luger if he didn't win. He would definitely be Lex Luger if he didn't win. Because they've been doing a little bit of everything with Cody, man. But I think they have gotten smarter since 1995. Which brings me to I've been watching WWF Superstars from 1992.
Yeah.
And I watched 92, 93, 94, now we're in the middle of 95.
Mm-hmm.
People were absolutely delusional about Lex Luger, dog. They were delusional about Lex Luger. He was over, but he was also shit. So I see why Vince didn't do it.
Bro, that's what I'm saying about Cody. Like, what is his moves? Any of the finishing maneuver, didn't he get that from Goldust? Ain't that Goldust move? Or am I tripping?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
The last rolls or whatever, when he take the nigga and twist him and hit him with the
Oh no, that's his joint.
For real? I thought that
Goldust move with the curtain call.
No, I thought that was one of his side moves. Goldust. Well, I could swear I thought he did that. Oh no,
he did a neck breaker, but it looked the same, but it's a different move.
Okay, but yeah, he was doing that because I remember he was with Goldust. He was doing that. But besides that, bro, like you've been doing this for how long? You done left? You was there, you left, and you came back. Where's the new moves, dog? Like for real, like come up with something with that little shit on the side rope and you kick the nigga in the face, man. Get the fuck out of here. This nigga lame, bro. That nigga's lame, bro. Like, dog, they put the title on him. He better, man. If he don't put that title off him before the summertime, I'm canceling my subscription to Peacock. Fuck it. Fuck that nigga. That nigga horrible, bro. Nobody want to hear that positive shit. We want to hear the people getting disrespected. That shit been going on since the Attitude Era. That shit been went on since then. Like shit, for real. Fuck you trying to impress?
I think Cody, from a business perspective, is a good choice. You know, I think that as far as a guy who just takes over Roman's spot,
yeah,
you know, doing all the media and all that shit, I think Cody is perfect for that. I think he proved that he was good for that position. What he did in AEW, him being the executive vice president of AEW, and getting out before it went to shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it went to shit as soon as he left. So he always got that in his back pocket. Like, hey, at least.
And you know what would be gangster though? If not Roman Reigns, but Randy Orton come back, hit this nigga with the RKO, get this nigga up out of here. Fuck. That's actually one of the one of the few I could think they could do.
In
The Rock, I know The Rock can come, but The Rock come back and talk shit. I know he ain't get in the ring, but that'll be like magic. But no, if Randy Orton come back and they have a rivalry, him and Cody, I'm with that shit. I'm with.
Yeah, I think that one's in the chamber, because to me, that's the big Cody feud right there. Like when Cody get the belt, that's the big match, him and Randy, because they got such history for them to play off of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely down with that. The only way I can say Roman wins. Roman is only going to win, and people will only support Roman winning if The Rock comes out there.
I was thinking that too, but only thing I was thinking with that is I remember Rock was saying that he wasn't ring ready. And you remember when he had that match, two terrible matches with John Cena. Both of them matches were the worst match they ever had in their fucking life. But anyway, he injured himself doing the rock bottom and shit like that. A lot of people understand it's different from being. Of course, we see The Rock, but he was like, shit, this nigga look like my house. But this nigga ain't in the ring. So if he even go out there for a quick second, no, let me shut the fuck up. Steve Austin wrestled last wrestle.
He did.
Rock, bring your big ass out here, nigga. Do it. We believe you. Yeah.
And really, the crazy thing is about him saying he's not ring ready is that not only is it a lie, but clearly he didn't have to do anything. Like they could just walk and brawl for 10 minutes, hit finishers, and that's it. Like you can do whatever you want in this wrestling match, man. You could build around your limitations. He could sell for most of the match if he can't really work.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay down. Take a spear, Superman punch, kick out. Let Roman punch him in the head and talk shit a little bit. Hey, Roman can stretch that shit out for 20 minutes and do like 4 moves.
Yeah. But
so
the story, the only thing is, like everybody keep telling like with The Rock coming back, the story got to be involved with The Rock wanting to get the title, because clearly that's his cousin. He just can't be coming out there just fighting Roman just for the fuck of it. It got to make sense, because clearly Roman set it all up for his family to be together and shit like that. So if it come out there, it clearly gonna be on some like, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge me, we family and shit like that. So it gotta make sense, but also that it's always a night at the Raw that make it make sense. So we gotta put that in perspective as well. So I clearly believe, like, if The Rock come out there, it has to make sense. It has to make sense. On top of, like, he has to come on these shows. He has to be showing up and explaining himself. Cause that shit that was happening with that little John Cena rivalry, where he was doing it at his crib and shit like that, and doing it on the bridge or whatever the fuck. That shit you couldn't feel it, nigga. We need you in the ring, Rock. You know what I'm saying? If he comes back,
I'm not hanging my hat on The Rock coming back, dog. I think that I don't think that Roman and Rock need the title, because they can always fight over their family. And that's bigger than the title. And I think Roman has gotten to the point where he's probably bigger than the title. And him dropping the titles will actually help him in the future, because now he can wrestle and not have to, worry about, defending the belts and shit. I'm going to go with Cody, because I think that they built this up enough and people are willing to buy into the Cody thing.
Yeah.
I never would have. I picked Cody to win the title when he came in.
Yeah.
But when Roman was steamrolling everybody, it didn't make sense to me to have Roman beat Edge. Like, I thought when they did it also didn't make sense for Roman to beat Drew McIntyre, but Edge was first. When they had the situation where WrestleMania was 10 years to the day of Edge's retirement, that seemed to be the right time to have Edge beat Roman for the title that he never lost.
Yeah.
That would have been a great story. But then they went and blew that up by putting Bryan Danielson in the match.
Right.
Then we got away with that. Then they did the whole thing with Drew McIntyre, first big show in England. It seemed perfect for Roman to lose. And then they went with Roman again. And I was like, okay, now I'm sure it's going to be Cody. Now, the question of Cody not winning is like the only option that you can have that people are going to be supportive of is Rock. That's literally it. Like, I'm a big fan of Bobby Lashley. I love Bobby Lashley, but I don't think people would buy Lashley beating Roman Reigns. I don't think they would buy into it. Right. I would be down for them to have matches. I don't know why they haven't done it. I think wasting Roman's time on Kevin Owens when he could have been fighting Bobby Lashley. All those matches were like, at least one of those matches where Brock could have been his match with Bobby Lashley.
Right.
But I don't know. We're in a weird situation. The Goldberg match too could have been Bobby Lashley too, but whatever. It's like Lashley's always on the outside of that window knocking, like, hey, everybody, I'm right here. And everybody's kind of hustling and bustling right in front of him. He's knocking on that window like, hey.
That's another
Then occasionally people remember he out there.
That's another person that need to advocate as well. Like I was saying with Oscar, like, I know he had it with MVP, and that was like the best thing smoking with the Hurt Business. Like, I still can't process in my brain, but the past is the past. But when it comes to Bobby, like, he don't need anybody. He just need that special person. And MVP was that dude, like, for real. Like, that was such a good fit for him. Like, he was the Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman of that situation. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that
Hurt Business, man, that Hurt Business, man, that shit. I want to go buy some liquor just to pour it out over the Hurt Business, man.
I don't pour it out. Just give it to me. Yeah. But no, yeah, it's a terrible shit. You know, you hearing rumors like Street Profits and the Omos and all them. I'm like, bro, like that shit sounds good, but like it gotta. I don't know. It probably can just come out of nowhere, but you gotta get rid of the old because when the Hurt Business was popping, it looked good, but it's mainly with like Bobby and MVP and Chad Cedric Alexander. He looking good, but Shelton Benjamin, why he still got a job, dog?
Ooh, oh no!
Why he still got a job? Talk to me.
Oh no!
You getting rid of
I like Shelton Benjamin. He old as hell though. He can replace him. You can put him in the coach position.
You getting rid of John Morris. This is one of the most athletic motherfuckers I've ever seen in my fucking life. I remember Wrestlemania when the Corona happened. This dude legit walked across one turnbuckle on a rope and went to the other side with nobody holding his hand and did a little move. No, of course, with nobody in the audience to celebrate, whatever. Man, I like this dude. This dude still got it. They fired him. They didn't want to bring him back. Still got Shelton Benjamin. Can't even do the shit he been doing since 2007. Like since that nigga got super kicked by Shawn Michaels, his career been over. That nigga ain't been shit since then.
Oh, that part is true. That was the highlight of his career, dog. That's sad, but it's true.
You feel me?
That's sad, but it's true. That super kick was a moment that lives in infamy. That shit he ain't gonna surpass that at all.
Ass, dog. You know, started a new Hurt Business. Don't put him in it. Fuck him. 2.
I like Shelton Benjamin. I got a soft spot in him from the old days. I got a soft spot for Shelton from the old days.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I'll reiterate this one more time. Shout out to Jigga. You had a spark when you started, but now you just garbage. Oh shit.
All right, so that's WrestleMania. That's WrestleMania in a nutshell. All right, so the next thing, I just want to get your thoughts on some stuff because you ain't been on the channel in over a year. Yeah. 2 major things happened since the last time you was on the channel. Vince McMahon got pushed out of the company for paying hoes money, and CM Punk started a brawl in AEW. Which one you want to go into first?
However you want to do it, man.
All right, let's talk about Vince. What's your thoughts on Vince and the tricking that got him in trouble?
Which is kind of unloyal, and that bitch is. Hold on. No, let me take that back. I can't say it unloyal because the nigga was married. You know what I'm saying? Don't really supposed to be doing that. So basically, let me get the story right with you. So basically, he paid a little employee, or was an employee that worked for the WWE. Correct?
Yeah, one of the chicks. I'm pretty sure all of them worked for WWE at one point. But what happened was he got caught having non-disclosure agreements with several women, equaling up to like over $12 million in settlements. With him basically paying women to keep their mouths shut about affairs. When it popped up in Wall Street Journal, some people was trying to make it a big deal, like it was like sexual assault or those kinds of situations. But nobody outside of Rita Chatterton, who accused him of rape in 1986, and I think maybe one other chick, nobody said he did anything illegal. Basically, he just got in trouble for having sex with women who worked there and paying them money to shut up, essentially.
Well, if we know Vince McMahon history with the steroids, you get what I'm saying? Like, what else? Something happened with the Owen Hart situation. He's not really like kind of like open up and kind of like having like a fan tribute for them or anything like. I know it's because of the wife's tripping and shit like that. I know it's legal issues with that, but he never really like said to really like console Bret Hart in a way about that situation. There's a lot of shit that Vince McMahon, like, he living in his own little world, and that just came with the territory. And low key, like, what he did was wrong on a marital level, but niggas been doing this shit forever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
And
real talk right there.
I don't know what to say. Like on the strength of like, you know, I mean these hoes he was fucking with just weren't loyal to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because clearly it was an understanding. Like boom, this is going on, but this and that. But the thing is, the main important thing is like you know what I mean when you married and shit like that, and you under that spotlight, the stuff that you do with the art always gonna come back to the light. You feel me?
Always.
A nigga like me, if I would have did it, man, I ain't gonna be like losing my job or losing my household or no shit like that. It'd probably just be a divorce and that's it. But
Right.
you under that spotlight and you have a tendency of doing some shit on the side. You know what I'm saying? And you, Vince, you be taking niggas to court too. So you clearly don't go give a fuck either. So you playing the cards that are dealt in a way. So at the end of the day, you know, man, this ain't your main thing. You can't really say like you expect them to do loyal shit when you ain't doing loyal shit.
Right.
You feel me? So he just played the cards that are dealt. You know what I mean? And he lost his shit to the what nigga name? I think it's nigga whatever the fuck he. I think overseas or whatever. I can't remember his name, but yeah, maybe the cards that were dealt, man. He got played. He played himself though, for real.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is about the situation is that he did some stuff clearly he had no business doing, but it was pretty clear from everybody on the. I think most people on the outside didn't know. They didn't know for sure, but they did know that Vince and Linda been separated probably for a long time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they really don't even show up together anymore. So it was probably a thing where certain people knew, and it was just kind of like, oh well, he's banging the paralegal, he's banging this female wrestler, he's banging this chick and that chick or whatever. Ain't nobody cared, you know. But as soon as it goes to Wall Street Journal, it becomes like a big deal or whatever. And it's like it's only a big deal because he paid those women to not talk about it. And therefore, people think that it was something felonious that happened. It's like, not really, because what rich men do is they pay for their privacy because they really don't have privacy any other way. You know, there's too many people who, if they found out who this chick was, they'd be throwing her on the news. They'd be paying her to do interviews. She'd be writing books, all kinds of shit. And who knows what the hell she might say, what the hell she might make up. So you pay her some money to just be like, look, keep this between us. Or it could be some stuff where, it's clearly a problem to have sex with your employees in your Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily to cover up a crime. It could also be to just shut her up because it's not going to end amicably. When you're rich, you don't have an amicable breakup. There's always going to be some animosity. And there's always that threat of rape accusations or that threat of public relations disasters. Like, people can make up their own stories now because they don't know what's in those NDAs. And therefore, people familiar with the matter, quote unquote, are the ones telling the story. But nobody knows what's in those NDAs. Apparently nobody outside of a few people have read them. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
it's a crazy situation to lose your job over, though. This thing has cost him almost $30 million, dog. Over $30 million. He paid over $12 million to the women. And then he got investigated by WWE. The investigation cost $18 million. And then he paid for the investigation. This shit cost him $30 million. Like, think about that. For some strange.
Yeah, that's it. You said it's still under investigation?
Oh, the WWE investigation is over with. The company has already investigated how much he spent on them. And then he had to pay that back. So that shit, it cost him over $12 million to pay all the women. And then another 18 because he got investigated. For starters, the man rich, $30 million, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I tell you what's in the goddamn NDAs for $30 million. I
Yeah.
lay the motherfuckers on the desk, like, read them all. I'm not paying you $30 million. But that's what it is, you know?
It's like,
So you got to ask the question, like, he's basically paying for his privacy. He wants people not to talk about him, following him around, whispering about him and shit. That's what
yeah,
he's paying for. And it still didn't work. So,
but it's, I mean, yeah, like I said, like we don't know what's in that on the NBA. We don't know what's in that agreement and shit like that. But also, you know, just
right.
like big bro used to say, "Ball, God rest his soul,
Mm-hmm.
don't shit where you lay." You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
maybe he just got in a agreement with somebody that's was feeling some type of way and shit like that. Like, trust me, bro. Like, when you're dealing with sex and money and possibly drugs and alcohol or whatever the fuck is going on, like all we know is this sex and money, possibly.
Right.
I mean, it can go left at any moment when these people be feeling some type of way and shit like that, or somebody get in their ear. So I
Right.
can I mean, legitly, I can't say like who's right and wrong because I don't know, like, again, you said they were separated and stuff like that. I mean, if you're separated, like, you're still legally under, you know, I guess marriage or whatever, this and that third.
Right.
But even like paying these women off and shit like that, and they working for you and shit like that, they still might feel some type of way. Then bam, you get back with your wife probably like about like 2 or 3 later after that or some shit like that. Or if a situation like they feel some type of way, maybe like 3 years after that, like, dang, like, can I get a couple dollars to get a boat? And Vince McMahon, like, it's 2019. I give you no fucking boat. Fuck
Right.
out. And
Right.
then it's, you know, all this shit going off. Like, man, like dealing with, like, again, sex and money, like
You
that shit.
also got it's more like sex, money, and politics because some of these stories
Yeah.
are very old. And Linda was running for office at one point. So it might have been, you know, that's been another thing. Like Vince has always been a lightning rod for and when Linda was running for office, there was a lot of stuff about Vince's behavior. You know, like when he was, you know, about to fight Bob Costas or some of the other crazy stuff he's done on TV. People have been using that against him. So he's in a situation where he's like, okay, his wife wants to run for the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're still married technically. They might not live in the same state because I don't think they even live in the same state anymore.
Mm.
You're talking about what his behavior can hurt her career. So he's basically like paying for his privacy so that these women wouldn't go out and be like, or, you know, being political operatives won't go find them or look for them or, you know, whatever while Linda's running
Oh,
for office.
I just thought about it. Since you said it like that, since Linda was working for like wonderful politics, you know, he fuck with the Secret Service. You think got a Secret Service is like go through his phone and try to see what the fuck be going on back then and contact those women and then pretty much drop it to get that get back.
I don't know. Like,
I know there's allegations, but
she was running for state senate, I think. So I don't think it would be like Secret Service, but
okay.
it's always possible for somebody who is on the outside of that situation to have seen it or known about it. You know, it could be a certain situation that she just sat down and talked with her friend about it. Like, yeah, you know, I was fucking with Vince and yada yada yada, and he was paying this and yada yada, and she went and told the newspapers.
Yeah, it probably was just like a simple bump in with Linda and them two. Then they probably was like, yeah, I was fucking the shit out your husband. Like, oh, we want to do it. You know what I mean? They probably feel, I don't know, though. It's so much broadness about it. You feel me? That it doesn't seem like the typical shit like with the Bill Cosby's and the R. Kelly's. That's a little bit over the board. But this right here, it seems consensual. It was consensual. Well, whatever they did, whatever, and wasn't somebody else was involved with it with Vince with the whole scandal? I forget.
The original scandal was John Laurinaitis. He was having sex with the same girl, apparently.
Oh, okay. Did he tell on him or something like that?
No, when they found out about the non-disclosure agreements, they found out about the relationship that Paralegal had with John Laurinaitis too, and Laurinaitis was fired and eventually had to step down.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So apparently, after she got done running around with Vince, you know, she got done there. She apparently stepped down to John Laurinaitis and started running around with him. And John Laurinaitis was married to the Bella Twins' mama at the time. So, I mean, you had this. It's an ugly situation, but I understand why he would pay the money, you know, for the chicks.
Dog. It's more like dog, it's something more than this, dog. Like Vince had him and still been hitting that shit for the freebie after all this shit. He feels some type of way, like damn, nigga, you ain't dreaming like you used to. Like something got.
My whole thing was, and I thought it was kind of a joke, but I said like one of those payments was like super large. It was like $7 million or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, he must have got that bitch pregnant. You know, that would be like one of the only things I could think of is like, why would he pay her so much?
Right.
The only thing was she gotten pregnant or something. He had to pay for an abortion or something. Like there's certainly more to it for some of them because the amounts are so large. But I could definitely see him paying for his privacy and, you know, hers too, to be quite honest. Could you imagine, like, they've been talking like one of the wrestlers that maybe he had sex with Christy Hemme. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if it was made known public that Christy Hemme had sex with Vince McMahon?
Right.
How she would get hounded. You know, she would get, you know, constantly people would be trying to ask her interviews about it, constantly wanting to talk to her about it. It was the same thing when Rita Chatterton accused him of rape. Yeah. People over and over and over again just kept contacting her. Oh, and this was almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And people just kept contacting her to talk about it. It was the same thing with the Ring Boy scandal. You know, that Tom Cole guy. Mm-hmm. Wrestling fans who write books and shit constantly calling this guy, making him relive that story again and again and again and again. Yeah. And it's like, at some point, you do have to ask the question, like, would it have been beneficial to the girl for her to take the money and shut up? Because do you really want the Meltzers and the Bixen Spans and all of these guys calling you constantly on the phone to do interviews? And, you know, what was it like dating Vince? What was the size of his dick? Where did you go? Like, what kind of fun things did he like to do? He like to skee ball or axe throw? It's like, come on. No, you know, like,
bro, it goes across the board for all of us, stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of my exes and shit like that, they're not gonna say no scandalous shit, but they're gonna say some shit that's not something that they was happy about, and
right,
go to jail.
Especially if they're being paid to. I mean, if you one day become, you know, somebody super famous, and somebody's willing to pay for dirt, there's bound to be somebody who know you and be like, oh yeah, I remember that time he stole a Snickers bar from the gas station. And then it turns into, it was an armed robbery or some shit. You know, like people do that shit all the time, man. Yeah. That shit was some bullshit.
So yeah, I think it's way deeper than like what's on the paper. Cause the thing like you dealing again, like I keep hearing about the money and agreement and shit like that. When women get in their feelings, they don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They'll lie, cheat, and steal.
Exactly. Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? To get whatever they need to get out of you when you probably ain't got shit to give you. You feel me?
Right.
And the only problem I think on Vince, like, was she still involved with this woman for her to get to that point? Because everything that I always used to hear, you know what I mean, from a realistic standpoint, is these people still be involved with these women. And then these weird ass allegations be coming up. And then all of a sudden, motherfucker be like, oh shit, I ain't do shit. Just like, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It can't be just you. Something had to been happening that's off the record. Again, like, I'm not just discrediting what the courts and all this stuff said and whatever they had going on, because the black and white paperwork do not lie. But something will happen between closed doors that she felt some type of way about whatever Vince did or whatever Vince said or whatever was going on with the situation for her to do some fuck shit like that. Because that's wild.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think there's a lot of vengeance. You know, it might have been some pillow talking, you know, somebody who knew something. And that's why a lot of people think that, you know, it might have been Stephanie or somebody like that that kind of ratted him out. I don't know if Stephanie would go that far. She might, you know, depending on how devious she is, like how much does she really know? But I definitely think that somebody vengeful is the one who started this whole nonsense and kind of is seeking to ruin his relationships. They already ruined his career and his legacy and everything, but You know, a lot of wrestling fans, especially people who are hardcore on the internet, they hate Vince anyway. So
Damn.
that's why the shit came and went the way it did. Like people thought he was gonna end up in jail. And it was like, look, Vince McMahon has a terrible reputation. He's had a terrible reputation for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So this is just another plank on the Jenga board. You know, nobody really thinking too much about Vince.
Yeah.
But speaking of people with bad reputations, what's your thoughts on the CM Punk Elite situation? I know CM Punk is your boy.
No, I fuck with him a little bit. He ain't like my boy like that. Like I fuck with him a little bit, but I'm trying to get a little bit understanding because was the after match with Dean Ambrose or whatever the fuck he calls himself now, was that match that he had after, and he did
he had the big match at All Out.
Yeah, then he had the press conference. He was name dropping a lot of people. Then he got to a fight.
Oh yeah, he was calling folks out. Yep.
Or whatnot. Well, AEW know what they dealing with. They already know CM Punk got a mouth on him. So I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I guess I say I don't disagree with what happened because the thing is, I think he came in there. What was the issue with his dog or something like that, or something in the locker room?
The dog was in the locker room apparently when the fight happened.
Okay, so him and Kenny Omega got an issue because of
it was him, Kenny, and the Bucks. Apparently, they all got into a fight in the locker room.
Okay, CM Punk. It sounds like from his history, he a hard person to work with, and that is just what it is. And maybe he need to find like a different profession because it didn't work in the WWE.
He need a whole new job.
Yeah, he was mad at everybody to WWE and stuff like that. He went to UFC, that didn't work. AEW, he ready to scrap with people that's off script. Are we going to be professionals about this, or we not going to be professionals? But I think he still got a chance back for WWE. To be honest with you, I think he still got a chance, and just off the strength of time had went past and stuff like that, and people got older, and people make mistakes, but we all know he just got a mouth on him. We see that now. But the only thing he probably got to control is his temper, because what was happening in the WWE. Of course, some of that stuff was scripted, but he was going on his little shows and stuff like that, and really shitting on people, as far as Triple H and all these other people that's really trying to build themselves up and shit like that. So if you frustrated and stuff like that, I think that should be a conversation that you talk to people behind closed doors instead of really going to these people and really speaking on it like that.
Yeah. I think him going public with it made it a bigger deal than it would have been otherwise.
Yeah,
him talking about it put far more of a spotlight on it than it probably would have been regardless. Any other way. Now people are talking about it and they won't stop talking about it. So
I'm gonna say something that's kind of gonna be way off the wall, but it's gonna make a lot of sense. I was looking at a video with Andre 3000, and he was talking about how insecure he was with performing, putting music out, how he deal with anxiety, how much he just it's hard for him to do the big shows again. He ready to do a shitty ass club. I'm comparing this to CM Punk. CM Punk came back. He clearly don't look the same, age wise. It is what it is. People get older. But still, you're looking what are you going through? What happens with that? It's the same effect with movie stars, pop art and stuff like that. You used to that one pop that you got or that one effect that you got, the thing that people know you as. If you feel like you can't do that anymore, you start losing your mind. Either you hide into a nutshell, or you put yourself in a situation that you're doing wild stuff to try to get that same pop again. And I think that CM Punk is going through. Trying. Of course, when he came to AEW, you could feel he felt genuine about the shit, but clearly he wanted to get that pipe bomb hit again. but it wasn't hitting like that. Especially when he did that shit with MJF. I'm like, CM Punk, you ain't got it, bruh. You just ain't got it. And it just wasn't. It wasn't there like that. So he did that little press conference, like, yeah, he was pipe bombing the shit up. I mean, I get it, but you was kind of like name dropped to the point like you was putting the company into like, you know what I mean, jeopardizing the business. You know what I mean? Because you was doing something that was like kind of like off script in a way. I know AEW trying to push it a little way, but you were doing that. Then you're doing a little something extra. Like, bro, I don't know, man. What Biggie say? UPS is hiring. Oh,
The crazy thing is, he had a legion of fans until now. A lot of people are starting to turn on him a little bit, you know, because the thing was AEW was supposed to be paradise, you know. It was supposed to be where all the indie fucks can go and be free of Vince McMahon and his tyrannical control of the wrestling business, and they can create their own little island. And then, you know, CM Punk showed up to the island, saw that it was in disarray, and tried to do just some minor stuff. And people were just kind of like, nah, we good. We don't really need you here. And he's like, wait a minute, but I can do this. And they're like, nah, we don't need you. We good. And then he kept pushing. And then, like you said, eventually it became the ratings aren't going up. Or they were up, then they started going down. The feuds he was in, only the one with MJF was hitting. Everything else was kind of lacking.
Yeah.
He's getting criticized by like Eric Bischoff. He's getting criticized from, you know, Booker T. He's getting criticized from a lot of people. And he's like, how do I recapture that love that everybody had for me? You know, how do I get that back? You know, because these guys are tearing at my reputation. You know, you got the Young Bucks whispering to the dirt sheets about, you know, him fucking over Colt Cabana. You got, you know, various podcasters popping up. Look at their Dynamite's ratings. They're not good. CM Punk ain't drawing. And he's kind of like, yo, this is a high stress situation. It was easier when I could just blame Vince. You know, that's the thing about wrestlers when they leave WWE. It's so easy to just be like, it's Vince's fault. It's Michael Hayes. It's Bruce Pritchard. It's all of them that's, you know, ruining my career. And then when they leave and they don't become shit, then the question becomes a little bit harder to answer, because now you have to look in the mirror. You know, it can't be everybody else.
Yeah.
And so I think CM Punk is in that position where, you know, he didn't make it in. He made it in WWE. He got to the top of the card, but his attitude was he was too good to lose to The Rock. He was too good to lose to The Undertaker. And everybody's looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Right. So now the entire locker room is like, who the fuck is this guy again? You know, he's drawing what now? Nothing? You know, who the fuck is this guy? And people was like, yeah, pass. And then those stories started to float around, because then he went after Chris Jericho too in like 2014, and him and Jericho had a falling out. So now you got all of these situations, and he thought that he could fit on this island and take it to the next level, you know. But then he found out that, you know, these folks didn't really want him there, you know. Right. They was kind of like, we good. We don't really need you. Right. And he kind of got brought in anyway, and then everybody tried to make it work. And then they started to butt heads. And things just spiraled out of control from there. But it happened because, you know, Tony Khan is a weak leader. You know, he didn't step in between them, you know.
I know
it's literally that simple.
In the press conference, I noticed that like he was just kind of like falling back when he was just talking this shit.
Yeah. Hell, he was even nodding in some of those situations. So that tells me, like, right there, that's such a low key point of this whole situation that people aren't really talking about. It's like, you can get mad at CM Punk all day for saying dumb shit, which he did. He was saying dumb shit.
Yeah.
But the boss was was nodding. The boss was nodding his head and some of that stuff, like, yeah, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Why would you want to work with this guy and work with that guy who's calling you out in public, airing your dirty laundry in public? And why would you want to work for this guy who is not like cut his mic, we're done here. Instead, he's sitting there either befuddled, surprised, or even looking like he's agreeing. Like that's that was real nasty. That's nasty work right there.
Yeah, it's fake love for real, for real. And
Right.
to be honest with you, like to be a real boss and shit like that, he should have cut it to him. Like if he felt like his personality said I shouldn't did it like right then, like you never seen like Vince like well sometimes Vince did cut up like off strip on camera because that's how Vince get down. But you
Right.
could any wrestler across the board from the '90s to the '80s to the 2000s when you know you fucked up and you went to the gorilla, Vince gonna let your ass know. You know,
Right.
my man, like dog, he should have grown a pair of nuts. He should have calmed that situation down. Like I don't really. I'm looking at this stuff now. Like I really don't know what's going on with AEW. If this man think he was gonna be a yes man to his employees and without like put them in a proper place, regardless of their stature.
Right.
I'm very concerned about AEW's future. Not to say it's gonna go down under like WCW, but it's gonna be like the TNA thing, man. Like when
Right.
TNA started, bro, like that shit was fire. That shit was fire as fuck. That and that
Then Dixie was getting manipulated by the boys.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
It
Tony,
happened to WCW too. Eric Bischoff getting manipulated by the boys.
yeah,
Wrestlers can be very persuasive, man. They're very because especially when they get a boss that is a fan. You know, when the boss is the fan, they can get in his ear and be like, "Look, boss, you know, this
yeah,
is how things are supposed to be." And the boss is like, oh, "Okay, let's try that." And you just bankrolling this motherfucker's, daydreams or whatever. And next thing you know, you ain't got no money. This
yeah.
motherfucker and ran off and went back to Vince.
Well, I mean,
But
like some get their favorite. I kind of like a little disagree with that because we hear the stories about how Vince let Sean get away with so much shit back then. As you
that's
saying,
true.
like, Triple H getting away with Bianca and shit like that. You know what I mean? People get their favorites and shit like that. It's just when you getting carried away, like with what's old boy when NWO was really getting off like that. Not Eric Bischoff, but when Eric Bischoff left, Vince Russo. No, Vince. That's
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when Vince,
Russo.
yeah. Nobody like that shit. Like, and you can hear from any motherfucking people from on stage, backstage, now then. Like, you could see it back then. We was young. We didn't really see it back then. Like in the rest of like this nigga doing too much. But yeah, bro. Like it's to the point. Like it's either gonna be a fan or you're gonna be your ego or we gonna have a business. Like you gotta have a business like with your wrestlers. You gotta cut into all of them, to the biggest to the smallest, and then you gotta have like somebody that really like kind of like justify the locker room, like how they had the Undertaker. The Undertaker was like the judge and the jury back then. I don't know
Right.
who nowadays, but somebody
I
one
think it's supposed to be Christopher Daniels is supposed to be like the guy over the locker room right now.
man, nobody listen to
I
that.
don't know if he got the I don't know if he got the kind of pull, man.
Yeah, nobody listen to that little ass nigga. Like, get Jared there, Kenny Omega, get them niggas back there, or what else is beefed out there. But Jared, well, I don't know, like
Yeah,
somebody,
because it's like a mixture. Like Christopher Daniels officially is like the talent liaison. Like
yeah,
he's the guy. Talent has a problem. They tell him he go tell Tony. He's the go get it dude.
yeah,
Unofficially, Jericho and Moxley are like the locker room leaders. But
which is
Jericho is a fucking stooge, and everybody knows it.
right,
And Moxley is a half don't give a fuck kind of guy.
right,
No, Christopher Daniels was not involved with the fight at all. He just saw it. He was a witness. He was
right.
like in the hallway or something when it happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, for the record, I'm not really like blaming it on those guys because it sounds like they got like Christopher Daniels got integrity and Jericho got his own thing going on and Moxley, he just doing him and shit like that. I just feel like what they set up was it was not like a WCW type of thing. It was just like it was just weird, bro. Like it was just too much WWE going in there with a whole lot of up and coming AEW stars and stuff like that. And I think
Mm-hmm.
those collide and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And the
It
only
happened on the women's side too, where Paige went in there.
yeah, exactly. Kenny Omega, where's he from? He from New Japan or where's he?
Yep. He was
Okay.
in New Japan for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against, you know what I'm saying, the melting pot aspect of it. It's more of a, you know, it just wasn't nobody that's there to step up and be that locker room influence, stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure, like again, like with WWE doing, with Ray still being there, Edge still being there, like the oldies and stuff like that. And you hear a lot of people from back in the day. I think isn't Dean Malenko a worker in
No, Dean Malenko, I think he got sick. He's been gone for a while. He used to work at AEW, but I
oh,
think he's been sick for a while now.
oh, okay, I thought he was working there. I just somebody weird that I heard that working. But anyway, like certain those little voices and stuff like that, man. Those you know what I mean? Those reps sometimes try to get. It's hard to get to the old ones and shit like that. But when you can get somebody that's like an influencer, you know what I'm saying? That somebody got a little bit of control, like yeah, man, it can balance out the room and shit like that. My only problem is again like CM Punk is just a whole lot going on. You know what I'm saying? And we did
Yeah, he definitely need like a mediator. I think
yeah.
it's so far gone now. Now that these dudes are sniping at each other in public, it's over. It's over.
And only thing is like that the absence, and when people are absent like that, like he was absent for a long time, it brings the concern like what the fuck you been doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? He left WWE, going for a minute with UFC, going for a minute AEW. Like what's going on with you, dog? You don't drink, you don't smoke, you ain't doing that. What's going on psychologically?
That's the thing that bothers me. That kind of throw me for a loop. It's like CM Punk don't drink, he don't smoke. He can't blame his negative behaviors on anything other than he an asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, at least Shawn Michaels could be like, shit, I was coked up half the time. I wasn't paying no my, you know, like
Yeah,
I was doing foul shit to people. I was coked up half the time. What's
yeah,
CM Punk's excuse?
yeah. I think he really got like a really like um, again somewhat of a ego problem in the
Yeah,
sense
he definitely does. From what it
what
sounds like.
what we were talking about with the Andre 3000 thing, like
Yeah.
you know, still trying to get that. Just because you don't get high, he looking for that high. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he looking for that same high he got with the pipe bomb type of situation, and it's very like it's kind of sad because yeah, I did fuck with CM Punk, like, but not in that sense. I wasn't like heavy on him like that, you know. But what niggas when he came to the AEW, niggas was crying. I'm like, nah, I ain't on that like that. I just thought he was like, I just thought he was kind of a pretty, you know, what I mean, offset wrestler that he can like take it to the next level and shit like that. Because at times, like you know, Kofi Kingston, Shelton Benjamin, all them niggas had like a kind of like that style. But nah, I ain't with the you know, being unprofessional type of thing. Like
Yeah.
that shit wild. I mean, not wild, but that shit is like not good for business.
All right, let's close it out with talking about your favorite WrestleMania moments. Give me some of your favorite WrestleMania moments.
My favorite wrestle, some or just
Yeah,
one.
some. You don't gotta have one.
Okay, the ladder match with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon.
Absolutely.
Y'all probably gonna be getting mad at me when Brock beat the Undertaker.
Ooh wee.
Nigga, I was at a restaurant when that happened. Oh, the Seth Rollins, two Seth Rollins ones. I know I shit on him earlier, but before he started getting like championship like that, when Seth Rollins caught the RKO in the air, and that was like early. That's early when the event started. That shit was fire. And of course, when Seth Rollins, I have to believe that was the same night.
It was.
The heist of the century. That shit was fire. The shit with Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Sorry, I love you. Because I remember when the Corona came out, it's like if your dad coughed, it's what you gotta do to them. Sorry, I love you. Oh, y'all are funny. Oh shit, bro! I gotta do. Oh shit! I remember Macho Man went against Ric Flair, and he hit him with the double S handle, and he went into the guardrail, and Ric Flair went right to the camera, took the blade out, be like, go. I'm like, don't hit the camera right here. I'm fire. Oh shit, we can't forget about the Bret Hart and Steve Austin match all day long. Fuck, I can
Yeah,
go night, dog. Come on, man. This Shawn Michaels and Jericho, period. Because
I love
always,
that match. That match is underrated for sure.
man, what, dog? Like, just period. Like that shit was just seeing them in the ring was just fire. Oh man, how much time we got, man? I can go all night, dog. For real.
Shawn and Jericho was one of those things because I wasn't watching wrestling at the time. But when I
Yeah.
came back to WrestleMania 19 and saw Shawn and Jericho, I was like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
I hate that I missed this one. You
Yeah.
know, that was crispy. You know, I'm glad they knocked that one off at WrestleMania. That was a good one, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he kicked him in the balls. That was a good moment. That was a good moment.
Yeah. What about you though?
I got tons of WrestleMania moments, dog. One of my favorite WrestleMania moments is easily when Undertaker won the title from Sid. I
Oh
just
yeah.
watched the show again. We did a watch along on the channel, and WrestleMania 13 is a really bad show. It sucks, but it's just something about Undertaker winning the title again because he hadn't had it in 5 years or something like that at that point.
Yeah.
Especially when I was a kid, it really meant something.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like a really big deal. You know,
Yeah.
another big WrestleMania moment for me. Undertaker losing the streak absolutely was a big moment. I hate that match though. Like I refuse to watch that match. But the moment in and of itself, the 3 count, man, it still gives you chills.
On it though?
Yeah, like it gives you chills, man. I was like, whoa. The uncomfortable nature of it. It's so uncomfortable because everybody's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. I was in a
What?
room full of people. That's what fucked me up. Like everybody in the restaurant was like, what? It was real. Like that shit was real. Like that reaction he had, like I was in Hooters. Like people's in there, like they put their beer down, they were chicken wing down, and I'm like nigga, like every shit was real.
Yeah, that shit was real.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of my favorite moments, the first Money in the Bank ladder match when Shelton Benjamin springboard. I think he spring. I don't know if it's WrestleMania 21 or 22, but he springboard from the outside of the ring onto the ladder.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
excellent. I know it was 22 when he did the run up the ladder and did the flip off that joint.
Mm-hmm.
That was fire. Foley and Edge, the fire spot. I don't remember shit else from that match, but I remember that fire spot where he
Right.
speared him through the table and the table was on fire.
Yeah.
That shit was wicked. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, the entire series. The Triple H series too was really good. The Hell in a Cell match, Triple H and Undertaker.
Right.
Benoit winning the title was a great moment.
Oh, yeah.
He fucked it up obviously, but it was a great moment in the moment. You know. Eddie Guerrero pulling that trick at WrestleMania 20 when he took his boot off. Was another one of my. I love that moment. Nobody's ever done that since. Like nobody's ever done anything about taking off like equipment, taking off their tights, taking off their boots or something like that in order to win. It's so creative, you know, and it's very low key. Let's see what else we got. WrestleMania, I think WrestleMania 23, because I was in the building, you know.
Yeah.
So that entire show was. You was there too, right?
Yeah, we was fucking lost in the sauce, man. It was so fucking crowded in there. I couldn't find you. You couldn't find me. But yeah, I know.
I was in that boy, man. I was. It was like a sea of people.
Yeah, it was.
And it was just like Undertaker cosplayers and Shawn Michaels cosplayers, and I was in that bitch standing room only. Like I can't see nothing, but you can feel all the energy in that joint.
When Jeff Hardy jumped off that ladder, dog, I thought it was like, I thought it was like a little ant. You see this shit? Hold on, I'm gonna show you real quick. This little piece right here, bro. This is what Jeff Hardy looked like. That motherfucker.
Right. Didn't see him go anywhere. I didn't see him go anywhere, do anything. I just like, oh shit! I just felt the wave come from the ring up, and I was like, oh shit!
Wow.
Something happened. I'm not sure what it was, but something happened. It was bad. But that also leads me to Undertaker and Batista. They had a hell of a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was very good.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Just as an experience.
Yeah. Of course, Flair and Shawn, very emotional match.
Yeah.
That joint was special, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to see anything like that at this show. They got some options there. The Dominic and Ray probably going to have some drama to it.
Mm-hmm.
The Sami Zayn and the Usos probably going to have some drama to it. But I'm really questioning, like, if we're going to get something on, like, something special at this show. And I think they said they got some surprises planned. It'll probably be some returns, some debuts, maybe Randy Orton to show up.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm really kind of looking at the card and everything and saying, like, hey, where is the big moment going to come from on this show,
Well, the element of surprise is always, I've been giving it to them in the past 5 years. Because a lot of people been saying a lot of their favorite moments been like the Hardys with the New Day.
Yeah, the Hardys returning. Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah, and that ain't really my thing, but still, like it was kind of like out of nowhere. I knew the Hardys were doing some things in RH, but that was kind of like out the blue because there was some legal things going on with TNA and WWE about him using that Woken things. I'm like, there's no way they can pop up and shit like that. So it always go back to that shit, bro. What came up, anything can happen when it's the WWF. But
the World Wrestling Federation.
But yeah, dog, I think the element of surprise is always there, dog. And also the night after Raw ain't been exciting like it used to be.
Yeah.
I still have that stuff in my heart, like who's gonna show up? What's going to happen?
The NXT call up.
What
purchases and stuff.
A favorite moment of mine is when the NWO and DX showed up. That standoff there.
Oh, Triple H and Sting, yeah. But I remember that. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
It fucked it up because they made Sting lose. Like, how you gonna make Sting lose? That's why Vince is petty. He's the pettiest ever. Why would you make Sting lose to this man on his first night? You feel me? But that standoff. Yeah, God rest Scott Hall. That's my dog, man. NWO for life. Woo! But dog, that shit right there, that shit gave me chills, dog, for real. And I think that was the night of the I'm about to watch that WrestleMania, that whole WrestleMania again. I think that was like 33 or something like that, or 32.
I think it was 31. I think it was.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah,
that.
I think it was 31. It was Triple H and Sting.
Like, that shit. I still be watching wrestling to go to sleep, man. I'm an OG.
Yeah, I'm about to turn Superstars on as soon as this shit is over with. I'm about to watch probably Jeff Jarrett strut to the ring with the roadie and shit. It's fun. Like, the niggas don't get it. Like, I grew up on that mid 90s, 94, 95, 96 WWF.
Yeah.
That shit's silly. But that's what I grew up watching, So you get Duke the Dumpster Droese and Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Henry O. Godwin. It's dumb.
Right.
But it's fucking fun. It's fucking fun to watch.
God.
It's just fun to relive that shit. Even though some of it I don't even remember,
Yeah, that's why I'm not like, I'm trying to think like I know it's the more moments that I know that was fire, but it's not really poking out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm separating like what's fire opposed to like one of my favorite wrestlers and shit like that. For this, if you ask me what my favorite match was, then I'll start bringing up the shit like, the not Shawn Michaels, but the Brett and Owen and shit like that. And like the what I mentioned with the triple threat and stuff like that. That's a whole nother segment. But the moment, bro, dog, them motherfuckers don't come like that.
I'm telling you, my favorite all-time moment, though.
What's that?
My favorite moment all time is probably the greatest WrestleMania moment ever. Randy and Elizabeth reuniting at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh, that shit was.
That's my favorite moment ever, dog. That had grown men crying in the audience, bro. That shit was a 2 or 3 year odyssey. It made grown men cry.
I'm a one
Oh,
up you.
like this is my favorite moment ever.
I'm a one up you though. What about WrestleMania 8 when motherfucking Ultimate Warrior ran from here to fucking
He was late though.
speed.
He was late. He blew
I'm
the
like,
spot.
hey nigga, the cocaine was real back then, dog. This nigga was on 10. I'm like, dog. Man, if y'all never seen that, go look at that shit right now. I'm like, bro, you can fast forward it, and it still ain't gonna match up to the same speed he was on. Ultimate Warrior was that nigga, dog.
Yeah, I love the Ultimate Warrior. I don't even give a fuck what people think. Ultimate Warrior return at WrestleMania 12 was pretty good too, man.
Yeah.
That quick squash on Triple H.
Oh, Triple H,
It was right. That was the right decision, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I'd have squashed that motherfucker too, man.
Oh shit.
It's the Ultimate Warrior, bro. Why should he be selling for Hunter Hearst only? Fuck that. Beat him.
Oh shit.
Go ahead, do your thing, man. I'm not even going front. I'm not even gonna pretend like it was put the young guy over. Fuck that. Hunter Hearst Helmsley wasn't going anywhere. Beat him. Squash him. Set the standard, B.
Yeah, you know another one of the moments to me is that I'm a Bret Hart guy though. Bret Hart. When I think about Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, it may sound crazy. It sounds like equivalent to Biggie and Tupac, is Shawn Michaels and Biggie's what's your jig. But I didn't. When I was growing up, I couldn't stand Shawn Michaels. I was like, man, fuck this nigga, like that. And I was always a Bret Hart guy, and that I grew to love Shawn. But the thing was like that ending made a WrestleMania moment. But the match, if people don't, if the people that appreciate the Daniel Bryants, who else that are good wrestlers? That's now I'm trying to think. Kenny Omegas, all those technical wrestlers. You got to think about these people put on a good ass technical match in the prime of their career, and people don't really appreciate it like that. They don't even talk about it like in the strength that they talk about. I'm like, bruh, this shit was fucking gangster. First of all, Shawn Michaels.
I remember us being at the crib watching it. We was I think we was at homeboy Jerome crib watching it, didn't we? We like because his dad was a big wrestling fan, so we was like all like 12 years old watching that shit in that house. That boy packed like sardines in that joint. But that match was an hour, and nobody was like bored or anything. Like trying to watch it now, no. But back then, I was engrossed in that shit because I was a fan of both guys. Like I was a fan of both guys. So to me, I'm like, I don't even have a choice of who I want to win. I was all in on Undertaker and Diesel. Like that was the match I was most looking forward to.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got my money's worth on that one.
Yeah.
And then Shawn and Bret took it to the next level. And then the extra segment is what made it special, because you started all over again. When you're 12 years old, you don't know that Flair been doing 90 minutes with dudes at house shows or whatever. You don't know nothing about that. Yeah. But it's the longest match you've ever seen.
Right.
And because WWF didn't even do long matches like that. So this is the longest matches you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Between two guys who are super over, both of whom you probably like. And then you get a clean finish, but it's kind of dirty too. But it's not because either one of them cheated. It's because of some outside chicanery where, it must be a winner or whatever.
Yeah.
So it made it, it was very well done. It was very well put together. I just wish that match would have been 60 minutes.
It really got kind of deep when I started doing the research on it. Shawn is a fucking dickhead. He told when Bret was walking up to him, he told the referee, tell him to get him out the ring. So he can do celebrations.
Get out of here. Take rocks.
Shawn Michaels drugs was the fucking best. I don't give a fuck.
Right. You're like a rock star.
He was the GOAT.
Shawn is like DMX. The more drugs he do, the better he is.
And we didn't know. We didn't know what.
Right.
We thought he was good. Like, no, man, Shawn Michaels peeled up with
It was the pills, baby.
Man, that shit was
took him to the next level.
Don't do drugs if anybody watching. I don't condone drugs.
Yeah, I'm not condoning. I'm also not judging.
Yeah, not at all.
Mm.
Anybody got any, you know what I'm saying? We hope you recover well too, you know. We just talked about what happened in the past. That's on him. He better not.
Right. You see how you look now.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. All right. We're about to wrap this on up. It's 10:15. I gotta go to work in the morning.
All right, for
All
sure.
right.
Thanks for having me.
All right, cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Thanks everybody for watching. Y'all like this video, share it around, spread it around. Everybody enjoy Wrestlemania. See Big Surge next week.
All right.
You know, hang on after the show. I got something to ask you. But the rest of y'all, I'll see y'all later, man.
All right, bet.
Peace out.